Welcome to Help Desk with Joe. We are here in our patch turned up studio in Spencer, West Virginia. And with me, as always, Joe and Justin.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning. It's just show 89, so we're moving right along here. For those that don't know, we're in West Virginia and it is wintertime. We've had some cold, icy days, some rainy days.
All within the last week.
Yeah. So it's been interesting here in the mornings. You get up, you never know what you're going to find.
Yeah, I heard that the reason winter was so delayed because it was stuck out on a boat with everything else, and they finally got it unloaded.
Yeah, finally hit the port and come ashore.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're in the thick of it. It's about, I don't know, somewhere in the 20s out this morning, but a great day for show 89. So we're here, Help Desk with Joe. As always, Joe bringing us help for the common technology user and businesses, small businesses, big businesses, whatever. Information people need to know
Yes.
regarding technology and whatever else we throw in that grab bag of conversation that we have. And Justin's role here is to keep us on track, which is going so-so, I think. But otherwise,
Day by day, it's week by week. I have varied success.
Yeah, it just depends on how far Joe drags us off track. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, but
Big news though. I'm gonna possibly be switching to Android. So
Really?
Ooh,
That's just breaking news
yeah.
here.
there'll be a review coming of what I think of Android versus iPhone.
yeah, what will it be like to have technology that's relevant?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't either. I
We'll
mean,
see.
I know what it's like, but I feel bad for Apple users because you're like, ooh, we got something new, and I'm always like, wow, I've had that for like 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me send you a timed text.
Yeah. What's that?
Yeah. I told my son that actually a couple weeks ago. I was like, hey, just send me a text. He's like, well, I won't be up at 6 in the morning. I was like, do a time text. And he looked at me, blink, blink, and I was like, oh, yeah. Apple user, sorry. Using words you don't get.
Yet.
Yeah, so,
Yeah,
like,
so-
don't worry, in a couple of years it'll come out.
Yeah, I
for
was gonna say, yeah, eventually he'll come, Dad, look what this new feature does.
you. Yeah, yeah. Ugh. Poor Apple users. Anyway. All right, so show 89. Joe, you got some good stuff for us today.
Yes.
Let's start it off with a little bit of news about Tumblr. I don't even know what Tumblr is.
Well, I had to look it up last night myself, so.
Is that good or bad? Good that we don't care what it is or need to know what it is, or is it bad because they just haven't marketed our age, or what are we saying here?
That, or we're just not running with the hip crowd anymore that cares about some of this kind of stuff. I don't know.
Hold on, Justin, do you know what
It's,
Tumblr is?
I mean, isn't it a way for people to like easily make a blog?
No.
All right, never mind. All three of us are out of the loop. Justin, you had one job. Be in with the hip crowd.
Yeah.
Because it's not Joe and I's agenda, apparently. Anyway, Tumblr, Joe.
Okay. So Tumblr is a website where you can post your own content online. So you can post stories, photos, GIFs, TV shows, links. It's just kind of just a catch-all for
Is this like a
media.
MySpace remake? What's going on here?
No, I think it. Oh, Justin, I stand corrected. You was right. It is for blogs, for blogging.
Okay.
So Justin is on the know. He is in with the hip crowd.
I know that's how it started. I think it kind
I
of morphed into more adult content as people took it over and used it for nefarious purposes.
Man,
That's what I heard.
Justin is on top of
Really?
things. Yes.
He is part of the hip crowd.
Yeah, he
All right,
is.
I'm proud of you, buddy. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I spelled it wrong too in the title here. So
Yeah, Tumblr.
yeah, I
That's hip.
snuck an e in there.
Spelling it like that. That's how you know you're hip.
Yeah, misspellings are hip now. So Tumblr adds and this is something that kind of surprised me that they're doing it now. I'm surprised they didn't already have this, but Tumblr adds a sensitive content filter to its iOS app.
Sensitive.
All right, Joe, break it down to knuckleheadedness here for me
Okay.
because I have no idea what you're talking about.
So Tumblr, I guess, is famous for having, as Justin said, adult-themed content on their website.
Okay.
So, as part of its ongoing efforts to stay in the good graces of App Store rules, Tumblr is adding a sensitive content toggle to its iOS app. The setting is enabled by default and keeps posts with sensitive tags out of recommendations, blocks search results with sensitive tags, and hides blogs that are quote-unquote that are explicit in nature. So, apparently, a couple years ago, Tumblr was in hot water with Apple with their App Store app because they wasn't doing things like this. It was basically you download the app and just let anything fly. You could look for anything and everything, no matter what your age was.
Really?
So Apple.
How many kids do you think use Tumblr? Let me see.
Apparently a lot. So apparently Apple put the ban hammer on them and said, no, you can't come back and play until you clean up your act. So they cleaned it up a little bit. Apple let them back in. So apparently there's been some rumblings going on, and Tumblr's stepping up their game again and adding this sensitive content filter.
Wow. So they have about 319 million website visits worldwide. They've had
Wonder how many posts a
mid-year
day.
last year. Well, number of visits is in 311 billion visits in month 4 of 2021.
Wow.
So they're getting a lot of visits.
Yeah, dang.
And it has over 518 million blogs on its website as of February 21, which is almost a year ago. They call it microblogging. And they have about 32 million bloggers in the U.S. alone that use Tumblr.
Wow.
But quote unquote blog, I mean, it could just be somebody uploading a messed up video. Like that'd
Yes.
be considered a
Yes.
blog.
Yeah, controversial content.
They have about 16 million monthly users in the U.S. Oh, is that a lot? Actually, they're not in the top 10 list of the most popular. So,
It's apparently not.
yeah.
So disabling the toggle will allow users to search for tags that might include posts of a sensitive nature and see recommendations that might include suggestive or sensitive content. Switching off the setting will also allow you to tap through and overlay on blogs that have been marked as explicit. However, you still won't be able to view posts that have been flagged as explicit.
Okay, so 10% are between 15 and 25-year-olds, 11% 26 to 35, and then it drops off. So definitely the younger, hip crowd using this app. So I can see where some sort of screening is necessary.
Yes, and apparently,
Doesn't say anything about under 15, but
yeah, they kind of stray away with that kind of stuff.
yeah.
So, it's not entirely clear how Tumblr defines explicit in its content.
Yeah.
They're just kind of using it as a blanket term, but nobody really knows what categories or topics are thrown into that mix. So, only time will tell.
Did you already say that Tumblr was acquired by Yahoo?
No.
Yeah, so they're owned by Yahoo. They were bought in 2013 for $1.1 billion.
Wow.
Huh.
But Tumblr did. So in December 2018, that's when Apple temporarily removed the app from the App Store,
Yeah.
and then Tumblr had to actually start cleaning up their act because they
Right.
was literally letting anything. When I say anything, I mean literally anything post on their websites. So
Yeah. The average visit duration is 10 minutes. A little over 10 minutes.
really.
Yeah. So, Justin, how long do you stay on Tumblr? Does that seem about accurate? You spend 10 minutes?
Yeah, that's about right.
Okay. It's available in 18 languages. Huh.
But I'm glad that they're doing this, but I'm just a little surprised that they was in trouble in December 2018. Here we are, January 2022, and it took them this long.
Yeah.
And after the nonsense of everybody else getting their hands slapped, that they're just now being this proactive. I mean, literally, you just said that the website doesn't hit the top 10 most popular sites, but
Yeah.
it took you this long to write up a
They
button.
might have been worried that it was going to drop them farther. You know what I mean? Time out. Our illicit content is what's keeping us alive, folks.
Right.
That's my guess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Once you make a change like that, you're probably going to ostracize some people.
Right.
Huh.
So at least hats off to Tumblr for creating this filter and turning it on by default.
Now, they make about $15 million per year from ads.
Wow.
So Yahoo's investment take a little bit of time to repay, but it is being repaid.
So that a kid could just turn this off easily, though, right?
Right. But I think
It's a start, I guess.
yeah, but I think it kind of goes back to the whole holding the parents accountable.
Yeah. at least there's a way for a parent to control it somewhat.
Yeah, so as far as the company side goes, they go, look, we did our due justice.
Mm-hmm. Covering their bases.
Right.
I wonder, for someone that chooses to post sensitive content, does Tumblr require, hey, you gotta let us know that's what this is, so it's not popping up?
Well, I think what
Tag it somehow.
Yeah, I think they tag it, so then that does nothing but helps. As a poster, they'll tag it as whatever it is, and that helps their bottom line. So then somebody can more likely find their content. So they're kind of doing it themselves. Because why would I post a blog about tomatoes and then tag it as oranges? That's it's not gonna do any good.
Yeah. Unless it's like borderline illegal tomato
Right.
activities.
Right.
Then you might want to be secretive, I guess.
Right.
Or find some other word that wouldn't quite.
Yeah, wouldn't throw the triggers up.
Yeah.
Well, Justin, what kind
Craziness.
of content do you follow on Tumblr?
I gotta check this Tumblr thing out. I know of it, but I've never.
I was gonna say you made it a lot further than what Dave and I have. So
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta sign up.
Sign up.
Looks
that's
like a
cool.
rabbit hole. I don't want to go down. That's hard to believe. Just 10 minutes a day. Is that what you said?
Yeah, people log
See.
on for 10 minutes on average.
Yeah. Huh.
Oh, man. Craziness. Stuff that I haven't heard of or don't know anything about. But given my age, I don't think that's surprising.
right. Well, you're not a blogger, so
Yeah.
and apparently I don't blog enough. Apparently.
They have some pretty decent statistics. It's the 103rd most visited website in the world. There are 1,600 Tumblr posts in 1 second, where there are 8,800 tweets, 4,300 Skype calls, and 966 Instagram photos.
Huh.
So not too bad.
No.
Their rank in the U.S. is 25th, most popular website, where YouTube, Facebook, and Yahoo are still taking the top spots. Most users are from the U.S., about 33%. And in 2020, 27%. So 1 out of 4 users had an annual income of over 100,000. That's why I'm not on there. I don't make any money, so
That's what it is.
I'm not rich enough for that one. Huh. Okay. All right. Anything else we need to know about Tumblr?
No. Just
Parents beware,
yeah.
or be aware.
Yeah.
Okay.
The just another app to keep an eye on with your kids being online.
Yeah.
Joe, did you see that your favorite app, TikTok, took over at the top spot? It surpassed YouTube for average time spent that people spend on it.
No.
What?
Yep.
TikTok?
YouTube was
I kind of
Main.
believe it though.
screen time champion there for a while, but it got taken over.
I'm not surprised.
Huh.
From my personal experience, I'm not surprised because TikTok is a short attention span person like myself's worst nightmare.
Well, you and every 12-year-old.
Yes.
Let me rephrase that. You and every 8 to 20-year-old. You and every 6 to 25-year-old.
Yeah.
I don't know. 6 to 35?
Yeah.
Maybe even 40.
Yeah.
I don't know. TikTok's taking over the world. Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. I mean, how did we entertain ourselves before cell phones and TikTok? You know?
Yeah.
What did we do?
Yeah, we'll have to look back in the history books.
Go
and
back in the
figure it out.
archives.
Yeah.
George Washington, what did he do? Apparently made wooden teeth. Cut down-
And put himself on the dollar bill.
yeah, cut down some trees. It's kind of crazy. I mean, I don't know. I look at it as both good and bad. I feel bad for kids now because their attention span is so short,
Yes.
and everybody's diagnosed with ADHD, and then we throw in this whole COVID fiasco, so now it's even worse. I don't know. I'd say get outside and do something, but it is like 20 degrees out.
Yeah.
Put on a coat, kid, and go outside.
There you go. Run that energy off a little bit.
Yeah, so. Huh. All right, what's next on the list? Twitter?
Twitter.
Twitter.
And it's very interesting that Justin brings up TikTok because Twitter is testing a TikTok-style reaction videos.
What?
Basically, Twitter's jumping on the TikTok short video clip bandwagon.
Huh.
Because Facebook and Instagram jumped in on it with Reels. Now, Twitter is calling it tweet takes. So, this new feature the company's testing will allow users to share reaction videos alongside a quote tweet.
Huh.
With the test, Twitter users can opt to send a quote tweet with reaction instead of a typical retweet or quote tweet. These tweet takes, as the company is calling them, can either be a photo or a video, and the original tweet will be embedded as a card over top. The concept is similar to the feature in Twitter's short-lived Fleets feature, which enabled users to share tweets with their own commentary in a full-screen format. Fleets, of course, never really gained traction, and the company pulled the feature less than a month after its launch. So unlike Fleets, these reaction videos will appear in the main timeline just like any other tweet, though the videos will look noticeably different than a typical tweet. So what it boils down to is Twitter tried something similar to this a while back. It failed miserably. So they're doubling down on going, hey, look, we have our own take on TikTok. You don't need to go to TikTok. You can respond to tweets just like this.
I kind of feel like that's a pretty sad move.
Yes.
Am I reading that right?
Oh, absolutely.
Because, I mean, oh gosh, it's so hard. Once something like that comes out, now you kind of you're trying to sell the generic.
Yes.
Might work with food.
Some food.
Some food. Hold on. When you're talking about generic food that don't work, tell me what you got on your mind.
Well, I'm thinking not all generic brands, but some sugar puff cereal is better than the
I knew you had something in
generic knockoff.
Cena, we bought this crap and I'm not eating it no more. It's original or nothing. So,
although
it's sugar puffs, huh?
Yeah, although I do have to, and I've just thrown it as a generic term, although I do have to admit sometimes the generic cereal is better than the name brand.
Okay. All right, I'm with you. Justin, have you had any generic throwdowns that have just went sideways and been bad?
Yeah, I can't think of them right now, but definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like an oatmeal or sometimes something like that. You're like, this is noticeably worse than the name brand, the Quaker Oats.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a tea snob. Like, I don't drink coffee or anything, but I do like tea, and I like good tea.
Yeah.
So now, like, when I see, and it doesn't even have to be knockoffs, but like the cheap.
Lipton or something.
Yeah, gosh, horrible, horrible. They're so bland, and I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry at all. But you see Lipton's where I'm just like, nah. I turn a snobby nose up to that and walk on. Sometimes.
I shall not drink you. I shall not drink you.
Yeah.
Dave's going down the towel going, I shall not drink you,
you,
or you.
It's terrible. I mean, I feel like that's my one and only snobbish thing is I do like good tea. And I gotta say, nothing like a good loose leaf tea. But anyway, everybody that drinks coffee except me is going, that guy's and crazy. Anyway.
So yeah, I've never even gone down the loose leaf road. I have to try that
But
out.
it sounds like a dangerous road to go.
Loose leaf tea is amazing. It's so good. You just don't get the bland, brown, crappy water. You get good flavor. Yeah. Anyway. All right. So yeah, generic brands. That's a good thing. Somebody, if you comment in on this show today, comment in on what generics don't work.
Yes. Well, send us what generics you do prefer and which generics you despise the shelf they sit on.
Yeah. So I know like Walmart has its own brand, Kroger's has its own brand of food and stuff coming, and they're cheaper, but I almost feel like they're the same thing.
Well, it's funny because sometimes if you look at the branding, it all comes out of the same warehouse. Case in point, when we was kids, do you remember in Ripley they had the Quality Farm and Fleet store? It was it was kind of like Tractor Supply, where they in southern states, places like that, they had a lot of farming stuff.
What the heck were you eating out there, Joe?
No, I wasn't eating in there. No.
Oh, okay. I thought that's where you were going.
No,
We're talking about foods, and
no, I'm
all of a
talking about
sudden you're at
generic
Farm and Fleet.
products.
I'm like, what in the heck?
No, generic products.
Okay, generic products. Sorry.
So
Reel this back in.
they had
Dang, Justin.
their home branded paint. It was Quality Farm and Fleet paint.
Ah.
But if you looked at the label, it said made by Dutch Boy. So it was
Really?
it was literally the same brand as Dutch Boy, but like almost half the cost.
I wonder if anybody noticed that other than you.
Well, I didn't. Dad did.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
I wonder how many people went by and said, you know what? This is the steal right here.
Oh yeah, because I remember Dad like buying it by the buggy full.
Yeah. We're going to paint some stuff, Joe. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Because it was half the price, and
That's almost like a Griswold Christmas.
yeah.
You ever have those moments with Sadie?
Every once in a while.
We got a Christmas tree again this year and slapped it on top of the car and tied it down and drove it home. And I was like, by golly, we're the Griswolds. And both my kids looked at me and they blink for a second. And they're like, oh, yeah. But I was like, yep, here we go. Driving down the road with a Christmas tree. Anyway. All right, so I don't even remember what we were talking about. Twitter.
Twitter.
Twitter is doing this generic thing.
Yeah,
trying to
generic
copy-
videos.
Copy TikTok a little bit.
How's it going for them?
Well, we don't know yet. It
Just started?
yeah. Well, considering they tried it once before and it flew like a lead balloon, I don't see this one going to be making much better traction, but I could be wrong.
Does Instagram have a similar thing, like a short clip
Yes.
sort of thing?
Yes, it's called Reels,
Yeah.
and they injected it into Facebook. So if you scroll through your timeline, you'll see like it's just this little section.
I noticed those reels.
Yep.
So that's what that is?
Yep, that's what that
The
is.
TikTok ripoff?
Yep.
Basically?
Yeah, because if you look at a lot of the videos, it's these people's TikTok accounts. They just
Drop them in?
drop them in. That they created their Reels account. That's just like their TikTok account, because you'll see the TikTok logo in the corner of their videos. So everybody's on the TikTok train, and apparently justifiably so, since with the story Justin found.
Huh. That's kind of crazy. That. Do you get something for making the TikTok videos?
I don't think they're paying anybody at this point. I could be wrong, but
Because I know like they pay you. Do they still pay YouTube people?
yes.
Yes.
Is that still a popular thing?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yes.
So that's what's keeping YouTube up there.
Yes.
I guess TikTok people are thinking, oh, I'm going to get some sponsorship at some point if I get big enough.
Yeah, that's
Become an
basically the
influencer.
that's basically the goal nowadays for all these people. Everybody wants to be a content provider, and that's not what they call themselves, because that's not trendy enough. But whatever, it's basically what it amounts to. Everybody wants, instead of getting a real job, everybody wants to sit home and make YouTube videos and make millions of dollars, because there's 10 people that do it that are able to make millions of dollars doing it.
Yeah, I've heard parents around here even like mention that kids are saying that nowadays. Like,
Yeah.
it's not I don't want to be a police officer. It's a
Yeah, I want to be a YouTuber.
TikToker.
Yeah.
Really, an influencer.
Yeah, that's the word. An influencer.
Man.
And my thoughts are, yes, I have a YouTube channel. Yes, I upload content every once in a while if I think of it. But I just do it for fun and entertainment. If my thoughts are, if YouTube wants to send me money for my nonsense, by all means, I'm not going to say please don't.
Right. Right.
But I'm not quitting my job to be a influencer. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Unless there's some truck that pulls
So
in.
what sort of nonsense? I'm just curious. Give us a little.
Basically telemarketer videos. I record anytime a
okay.
telemarketer calls me. I'll record the conversations and upload them.
I gotta check this out.
Huh. Yeah, I remember some of your stories, Joe. Those are pretty good.
Yeah.
I could see somebody getting sucked into that. Do you get a lot of views? Do you track it at all?
Oh, I used to track it, but I just.
Oops.
Well, before YouTube upped their ante on
Right.
requirements to get paid, I actually made a couple $100 off of it.
Really?
Yeah.
I could see that.
It took a couple years to do it, but I checked my account and it said, "Hey, you're up to $100 in YouTube revenue. Do you want your check?" Absolutely. Again, I'm just doing it for fun, but if you want to pay me for me being a knucklehead, by all means.
Did they send a check to you in the mail? Or
They PayPal'd it, or
yeah.
Really?
yeah.
We're on to something. A new career right here has been born. Joseph the Influencer.
Yeah.
what kind of state of affairs is this world in if I'm an influencer?
I don't know. Huh.
We'd rather have you in there than some of these other people.
That's what I was gonna say. I was actually contemplating exactly what you were just thinking, Justin. I was like, well, I mean, considering how people were inherently knuckleheads, you probably got a pretty good shot, Joe. You probably have a better influence than most people.
Yeah. Well,
Just based on morals and values alone.
right. Well, I was talking to a guy yesterday. As you know, Cena filed for Rome County Clerk yesterday.
Oh yeah, congratulations on that. That's exciting.
Yeah, she's excited. And when we was going in, the gentleman that checks everybody as they come in, he was talking to us, and Cena told him she was filing. He looks at me and goes, "What are you filing for?" I said, "Public nuisance." He said, "You're fighting a losing battle." He said, "There are way more people out there, way more qualified than you."
You're an amateur nuisance.
Yeah. You don't have the knack for it yet. Wait
Yeah.
until it gets serious.
Yeah, he said, "Trust me, in a day's time," he said, "you don't stand a chance."
Well, I guess that's good.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. I'm still baffled by this whole who's Twitter owned by?
Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Instagram's owned by Facebook.
Yes. Which is
Still
owned by
baffled
Meta
by-
now.
Yeah, Meta. Well, whatever.
Yeah.
So Twitter jumping on the generic video train.
Yes.
Man, I don't know. I just can't see it taking traction, but you never know.
Instead of Cocoa Puffs, they're selling chocolate puffs.
Gosh.
Or chocolate puffed cereal, sorry.
You know, I don't eat cereal now very much at all because I don't drink milk or anything, but I eat granola. But I'm going to cruise down the cereal aisle next time I'm in the grocery store just to see, Joe, the generic brands.
Okay.
Now I'm curious.
I do have to admit that, like the Malto meal, like the big bags, those are just as good, if not a little better.
Really?
Malto meal.
You're eating some serious cereal, Joe.
Hey, I got a 5-year-old. You gotta.
That's what I was going to say. Sadie, pick out a big one. Here we go. We got some cereal to eat. Nah, I remember, man, my kids are voracious eating. Gosh. But, yeah. We go through fruit like nobody's business.
Well,
But there aren't any generic fruits, though. It's all just pay the heavy price and go on.
well, now you can get the processed stuff that's got extra preservatives. It'll make it last a couple extra days.
Processed? What are you talking about? What processed stuff?
I'm talking about on fruit. You know how the prepackaged.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well. All right, Twitter. Good luck with that generic branding.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see how it goes. How long? So, Joe, put on your or get your Magic 8 Ball out.
Okay.
Is this a gonna gain traction or a not gain traction?
I'm going to place my bets on not going to gain traction.
You didn't even shake the 8 Ball or anything.
Oh, sorry.
Anyway, okay,
So
all
I'm
right.
shaking it here.
So not gaining traction.
Yeah. I'm
So how long do you think it'll last before they give up on the idea?
well, considering the last time they tried it took 30 days.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm saying I'm going to be generous
Yeah.
and give it 6 months. And I'm being
Okay.
overly generous.
And then
Sure.
do you think they'll let it ride, or they'll just cancel it and take it out of the rotation or whatever?
Oh, they'll just cancel it because Fleets was less than a month.
Yeah.
So, but I could be wrong. I've been mistaken before.
Okay. All right. On to the next one.
Uh,
After generic Twitter. I can't remember. Oh, hold on. Spotify.
Yeah, Spotify.
My memory. I'm getting older, Joe. My memory's going. Justin, where we at on that one? Spotify. Tell me about Spotify, Joe.
So
I like Spotify. I use Spotify.
So Spotify will start showing clickable in-app ads when they're mentioned on a podcast. So if you listen to Spotify original or exclusive podcast, if they're talking about a particular product or whatever, or if they're doing a commercial and during their show, a little pop-up ad will show up in your Spotify app that you can actually click to visit that website.
Automatically, like,
Yes.
Hold on. Do you guys? Am I the only one in this room that finds that highly absurd? I don't watch Spotify. I listen to Spotify.
Right.
So a pop-up ad will have zero effect on me.
well, the person on the podcast was like, "Oh wow, there's this new thing." you might grab your phone and be like, oh, what is it? I want to.
Most definitely not.
Maybe not you, but
I start
somebody.
whatever on Spotify, and
Yeah.
I like usually if I'm listening to it, I put my phone in my pocket and go on about my day and listen to it.
Right.
I'm just caught by the whole you listen to Spotify, but now they want you to look at Spotify.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I mean, okay.
It'll just be a link to the.
Yes, so they're testing this ad setup that would make promo codes and special URLs during podcast ads a thing of a past. And it's already started this week. Those in-app advertisements are starting to roll out. The company says its call-to-action cards will begin showing up on its original and exclusive shows when the corresponding ad or offer is mentioned during an episode.
Who looks at these things and says this stuff in a meeting and gets away with it? That's what I want to know.
Probably the one guy in the
Guys, time out. You listen to Spotify, but what if you looked at Spotify?
Yeah.
And they're like, bloody brilliant.
I would love the three of us just to go on this tour of all these big tech companies and just sit in their boardroom and listen to these meetings and going, hold on, what?
Yeah. So you want somebody that's listening to a blog, probably as they drive or do whatever, to stop and look at their phone now to follow a link to somewhere else. The whole point of me listening to Spotify is because I don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to listen to it.
Like I said, yeah, a lot of times you're driving because
Yeah,
it's a
I mean,
nice
it's
thing to
yeah.
Right.
fill some time as you're going from point A to point B. And
Right.
I agree with you, Joe. How come there's not one of us in that meeting that says time out? Time out. What? We're going to invest however much money in this idea of getting people to try to look at Spotify now?
Yeah.
When our whole platform is listen to Spotify?
Yeah.
Are you crazy?
So here
Somebody bought it.
I have
though.
an idea.
You know what? Bloody brilliant.
I have a bloody brilliant idea. The three of us, like I said, go on the road.
Right.
We make it a competition. The three of us sit separately in a boardroom, and we have to sit there through these meetings. And when something dumb comes up, we just sit and just throw our hand up and see out of the three of us which one lasts the longest in each boardroom.
Yeah, I can see it. Listen here, pal. We don't want to hear it. We're going into new territory.
Did you hit your head on the way into work this morning?
Oh boy.
Because nobody thinking in the right mind would think that's a good idea, and you're all actually spending money on this.
Yeah, and I kind of think the same thing about the Twitter videos. I mean, did nobody stand up and say, "Listen, this generic thing, we're going to waste way more money than what it's worth"? And did we not learn the lesson from the other people that's tried this? And
Well, and did we not learn our lesson the first time?
yeah,
The first time
especially
we touched.
30 days. I mean, geez, 30 days is no time.
Yeah, so we got burned on the stove the first time, so this time I'm going to put a glove on my hand and touch it again.
Yeah.
you're a big time Spotify user, so this will be.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I know what's going to happen with me. I ain't watching it. I'm going to keep it phone in my pocket, or when I'm driving, it stays over on the little holder thing, and keep on listening to Spotify without looking. Spotify, thumbs down. I'm still using your product, but just not for what you're wasting money on.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that's okay. I mean, sometimes I sit back and I think it's just me. I don't understand, but it's just me because I'm not technology driven or whatever, and
Now
I'm probably not using the apps correctly and blah blah blah.
Here's their logic behind this. Spotify sees that this as a way to not only relieve you having to remember a promo code or a specific URL, but it also argues you'll be able to interact with ads or brands you're interested in when you have time to do so.
So now they want me to brand myself and to give away my logistical information that they're trying to capture anyway.
Now they just made it easier.
Oh boy, this is my beef for the day. Here's my soapbox for the day, Joe.
Okay, we need a button that plays a little tune that says soapbox of the day.
Dun, dun. Yeah. So soapbox for the day. We had this conversation. I don't know. It was over Christmas, I guess, about do you return your card or do you not? So here's the question I'll pose for both of you. Do you return your cards back to the store? Do you put them in the card holder, or you just park them somewhere against a pole or whatever?
Card holder.
Card holder.
Okay.
I can't stand people just throwing them different places.
Why not?
Why?
Yeah.
No, it just kind of, to me, it seems like somebody saying, somebody else will do this. I'm too good to be bothered, and I've got too
The
important
trap
stuff
just closed.
going in. I got stuff to do, so I'll just make somebody else handle my cart for me. That's what bugs me about it.
Like the young person's job it is to collect carts and drive them into the store.
Yeah.
All right.
So
here-
adding extra work to that.
So I'm gonna throw this at you. Add extra work to the guys or girls' job it is to do that work.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I do have a caveat.
Okay.
I'm not for just parking a cart somewhere.
But, yeah, it
But
could
if you
damage somebody's
responsibly put it
vehicle,
against
too.
a pole or something where it's not going to coast into anybody's car and it's not blocking the space, yeah, I don't see a problem with that. Because here's my thing. The more of the cart collector's job we do, the less of the job they have. So now, because we had this conversation and
Might be
another
autonomous at some point. Anyway.
person, well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, another person was like, well, if you don't return your cart, you're not being responsible. I'm like, well, let me get this straight. I have to return carts now so that the store doesn't have to have a cart collector. So now I'm doing a cart collector's job. And that cart collector no longer has a job. And now you want me to be a cashier so that they have to hire less cashiers. And I'm going to point out, I wasn't trained for any of these jobs. So I just don't grasp the concept of saying you're a bad person if you don't return your cart and you don't scan your own groceries.
Okay, so I'm. Here's my thoughts on this because I have two different stands on this.
Right.
I agree with you wholeheartedly on the cash register bit. I don't go to Walmart to process my own groceries. If I did, I'd go back in the HR department there and get a job application.
There you go. Yep.
The carts.
Yeah.
We're talking hundreds of carts, though. I mean, I know they have a little machine that'll push them for them, but
Oh yeah.
on top of like pushing hundreds of pounds of carts,
They don't push it. They got a machine. They
they
just
got
push
to
a
run
button.
around and collect them too. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, there's a YouTube channel called Cart Narcs.
Cart narcs.
And these guys go and
Only
these,
you would know this, Joe.
Yes. The wealth of useless information in my head just scares.
yeah. Scary stance.
Yes.
Okay.
And these guys go around these parking lots and watch these people do exactly what you're talking about. Just leave the cart out in the middle of the parking lot
See, I think that's bad.
and drive off.
Right.
So they'll chase them down the parking lot and put a magnet on their car that says Cart Narcs. And of course, these people get mad and start throwing a fit. And their logic is look, just because you put that, if you don't put it back where it belongs in the cart carrier, corral, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
it can bump into somebody else's car, do some damage.
See,
and
I
cost them
agree with
money.
that. I agree with that.
And so a lot of these people's logic is, well, that's not a problem. That's what they pay the cart people for.
Yep.
He said, well, based on that logic, I should take my key and run it down the side of your car because now the body shop man has work. And they're going, no, that's not the same. He goes, yeah, that's the same because you left your cart out and it bumps a car and scrapes. That's no different than me taking my key up to your car and running it down the side because now I've created work for the body shop guy.
Right. Well, that is the caveat. Destroying personal property is a distinct difference. And that's why I say I feel like if you park it up against one of the poles where it's not going to blow into somebody's car and it's not blocking the space, it's not necessarily a bad thing because they don't put cart carriers up near the front. Like for
Right.
instance, if you're disabled and you have a handicap sticker and you're going to have to walk your cart halfway down the
Yeah, and
aisle to park it and then come all the way back to your vehicle.
Well,
And usually they have those right up front where they have the little pillars,
yes.
and stuff like that. So if you're handicapped and you lean it over against one of those pillars where it's not going to get caught by the wind and roll anywhere and it's not blocking the space, then why not? The cart guy, girl can go get that cart. That's not a big deal.
But in the case of our local Walmart, the parking lot has a downhill.
And slow. That's why I say I'm big on responsibly parking it somewhere that's acceptable. I don't have any problem walking my cart back to I like the cart corral term. That's a good call.
Well, that's what they call on Cart Narcs. That's
Okay, cart corral is very nice. I like that. I don't have any problem me personally walking my cart back to the cart corral.
Right.
I'm just saying if people park them responsibly, I don't have a problem with it.
right.
Yeah.
Especially
I
if you're up
see-
near
I
the
see
front.
Your side now.
Well, I mean, I'm not trying to convince anybody. I'm just saying, I want the cart collected person to have a job.
Right.
I'm not trying to steal their job. I'm already stealing. Actually, I refuse. For the 99% of the time, I stand in line.
Yep, me too.
Unless I'm in a super hurry, I stand in line to go through a cash register done by somebody so that they keep their job.
And what drives me nuts is people that are working these self-checkouts.
Yeah.
They go, well, this doesn't do away with my job. Time out. Before they put these in,
Yeah.
there was 4 cash registers,
Oh,
4
yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Look around. There's one of you and 4 cash registers. So tell me how
Yeah.
it didn't do away with 3 other jobs.
Oh yeah. It most definitely did. It drives me nuts.
And they go, well, it didn't. It didn't take away my job. Give it 6 months and you'll be.
Yeah, yeah. And
Because they'll ask you to take care of 8 registers instead of 4. Then you'll
Oh,
get
yeah.
mad and quit.
Yep. Well, it's
If
just
I have a pack of batteries, though, I like to be able to swipe it and go. And not,
that's what I say.
not stand
If
in
you're
line.
in a hurry,
Yeah.
it's convenient for sure, but it still robs a job, in my opinion. And maybe I don't know the exact statistics on it, but I just feel that way.
Well, I don't think it really matters at Walmart because they only have 2 registers open year round anyway.
Gosh, it drives me crazy
Yeah,
too.
what's up with that?
Because they can. Where if you have a Walmart and it's the only Walmart around 30
There's
miles, that's
One like express lane, 20 items or less. Here comes somebody with 400 items.
Oh.
yeah, because there's not an aisle open usually.
Jeez.
That
We just solved a lot of problems right there. Walmart, I know you make billions every quarter of profit and you think you know what you're doing, but listen to Joe here. He's
Yeah.
on the money.
Yeah, this is probably an insider term that we didn't know anything about, but on election day,
Uh-huh.
there's a little term called voter suppression where you can pack a bunch of people in front of a voting place to slow down people getting
Yep.
in to vote.
Yep.
I think Walmart has shopper suppression. Think about it. I only have 2 registers open. The line's backed up to the clothing, but look, self-checkout is empty.
Oh yeah.
It's shopper suppression.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that, and I've been in that before where I've complained to the manager. I'm like, open up another register.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, the self checkout's right there. Like, no.
No, you're
All
not
these
listening.
people are standing here on purpose.
Yeah, you're not listening.
And it's hard for us because if we go shop for patch, for instance, we have to use the tax ID, and you can't do that on self checkout.
Exactly.
So I have to go through the aisle. So they're always looking at me like the last time this happened was before Christmas. I was buying supplies for Mason County, and had tons of arts and a cart full of arts and crafts stuff
Mm-hmm.
for their intermediate school. 60 kids.
Yeah.
Arts and crafts supplies for 60 kids. It's a buggy full.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, self-checkout. And I was like, 2 things wrong with that, pal. One, I don't want to run a whole buggy through self-checkout because that's a terribly logistical nightmare.
You see that line over there? It's going to look like this here in about a minute if I go through
Well, I just
self-checkout.
meant, they have one little bag holder and a little thing to
Yeah.
stand in, and I got a cart full.
Yeah.
I need to put it on the belt so I can empty the cart so I can get it back over to put stuff back in the cart.
Right.
It's
Which
not
I
gonna
coulda
fit
got-
on the little
Yeah,
weighing
it's-
thing.
I was
It's
just like,
too
And
small.
2, I got to run a tax-free card through, so I need to be at the register. And he's like, well, mumble around, like, open another register, man. You're killing me. I
Yeah.
got stuff to do here.
And what I love is, well, it's because of COVID we don't have as many employees. COVID has not been around since 2019. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know.
Or 2018. Whenever corporate decided to put these self-checkouts out, self-checkouts has been long before COVID, so you can't play that card.
Yeah. So,
You guys want a quick pick-me-up positive tech story?
wow.
An autonomous drone.
What are you saying?
Say-
My soapbox went the wrong direction? I'm just saying don't take the cart
I
guy's
think
job.
Justin's afraid we're like 30 seconds
Hey,
away
hey.
from being the old men to get off my yard.
So, all right, I'll spin it into a positive. For everybody out there, appreciate the cart guy or gal.
Mhm.
Park your cart responsibly. Be a responsible citizen shopper. And, encourage these stores to hire people.
And give your poor cashiers a break.
Yeah, definitely, because it's not their fault.
Right.
It's Walmart corporate. It's not your local.
Well, it's not so much. Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love to bash Walmart as much as I do Frontier, but a lot of these big companies are going to self-checkouts. The new Five Below up in Quarter G,
Yeah.
that's all they have.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy
have-
scary.
I think they have like maybe one register by the door because when we was up there at Christmas time, first time we'd been in there,
Yeah.
we had no idea. And the girl's going, cash or credit? We said credit. Okay, you'll use this credit self-checkout here. Well, time out. What?
Wow.
Oh, yeah. If you got cash, you'll use that self-checkout over there.
What?
Hold on. Self-checkout? Yeah.
Man.
It's like, if I didn't already have his buggy load of stuff, and
Yeah.
I would just walk out.
That's how they get you.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what it's come to. That Walmart has set the precedence that it's acceptable.
Yeah.
And people will, so we were having this conversation over Christmas break, and somebody pulled up a little meme that said, "Hey, sorry if I didn't correctly check out, these items at Walmart, but I wasn't properly trained."
Yeah.
And I was like, bingo. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
I'm not trained to be a cashier person, so if something accidentally slips through or whatever, or if I have a mistake and I just can't figure it out, I just set it on the side and it becomes somebody else's problem to
Right.
come clean up later, I
Yeah.
guess. But, I'm just like, this is
I have
craziness.
zero training.
Yeah, zero training for this job. You know, and it's not like it's not terribly hard, I guess. But if you have an
Something
issue,
always goes wrong. Though,
yeah, if you have an
like.
issue, then it is hard to fix.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I would love to see the statistics of shoplifting due to self checkout. It's got to be
well,
astronomical.
you know what baffles me? You go into Sheets now. If you have the app with a credit card on it, you can scan and just walk out with your stuff.
Yeah.
How do they know what's been scanned and is appropriate or not?
Oh, Amazon has one step further. They have these little pop-up stores in like New York City
Yeah.
where you literally just walk in with your phone in your pocket. You don't even take your phone out of your pocket, and you just load your buggy up or your bag up or whatever, and just walk out. And as you walk out, it scans.
No way.
Yeah.
Huh.
Future of shopping.
Yeah. Future of shoplifting. Somebody's figured out how to take advantage of it.
Yeah, just to have your buddy stand at the door, just throw it over the.
Well, I just meant, even at Sheets, it baffles me how they don't. How would they know what you actually scanned and purchased or not?
Right.
Right,
Because you don't have a bag. We went in there and my buddy showed it to me. He's like, "Hey, we're not even going to the register. Right? Clink, 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 clink." And you scanned it with his phone. And he's like, "Okay, we're good. Walk out."
Yeah, Walmart's
I was
doing
like,
that
"I'm just
now.
walking out with an armload of stuff." I'm looking around like, somebody gonna tackle us?
Yeah, Walmart's doing that now too. You can just walk around the store and scan it in your buggy as you're shopping, and then.
But
just
they
walk
have
out
somebody at the door usually that does some sort of receipt check, right?
Not in a Walmart. At Sam's Club they do, but not Walmart.
The Walmart over in Mason County does that.
Really?
Yeah, they have a person by the door.
Wow.
Every once in a while they'll say, "Let me see your receipt."
Huh.
It's a big Walmart though.
Okay, well that makes sense.
But okay, all right. Anyway, Justin, give us your good news story now that we figured out that
71-year-old man in Sweden, his life was saved by a drone who delivered one of those defibrillators to him when he was in cardiac arrest.
really.
Shoveling snow outside his house, collapsed. A doctor ran over, put an alert out for a defibrillator. 3 minutes later, drone delivers.
No way.
Wow.
Hold on. So what kind of drone? Like a private person?
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Well, I mean, or is this like a hospital drone? Or?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Looks like a...
Okay, when you said the guy was life saved with a defibrillator and they sent him a defibrillator, I thought, no, wait a minute, how's he using a defibrillator on himself?
Because I mean,
Everdrone? Rushed to help and told Everdrone how to get on.
wow.
Everdrone, you said?
I just mean, is that like a medical company had
Oh,
it on
yeah.
standby or?
Looks like Everdrone is an emergency medical delivery service
Okay.
in Sweden.
On the money.
Looks like a pretty big drone.
Yeah.
To be able to carry some stuff around.
Yeah, they develop technology for autonomous drones with a focus on civil applications for use with healthcare and emergency response sector. That is cool.
That's awesome.
That is the first drone delivery application that I can say that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Now the Amazon.
Hold on, you don't like the whole pizza thing? What do you
okay,
got against pizza, Joe?
Okay, you know where we live, and you know how people like to shoot things in the air.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I'm just-
yeah.
When Amazon said that they was going to start doing, I was like, yeah, that'll last about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But
Around
this,
the area.
this is awesome.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. You think about it here. How long? So, I've flown in a plane from the Spencer Airport over to Charleston. You want to guess how long it took?
5 minutes.
10 minutes.
About 12.
Yeah.
So it's 18 minutes from the time we taxied to the time we come to a stop taxiing.
Nice.
You know how long it takes to drive that?
Yep.
Yeah, like 55.
Yeah.
So we shaved off 30-some minutes just by going as the crow flies, so to speak. So
Yeah.
you can imagine what a drone could do versus a car or an ambulance.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially like any traffic.
Mm-hmm.
You go through Spencer, Ripley, Point Pleasant, any of these bigger congested areas, which I don't consider us here in Spencer or even Ripley to be too congested. But you go through downtown at 7:30 to 8, when
Right.
the buses go through, or 3 to 5, somewhere in that area when the buses go
Well,
through.
well,
Then it gets a little crowded,
Well, kind of like the case of Ripley and Spencer, both it's kind of almost one way in, one way out. once
Yeah,
you get
that's what I
downtown,
mean. You
so
said
you're-
limited roads. But,
Yeah.
So to be able to bypass that would
Yeah.
be amazing. Now, people are super courteous here in our communities. If an ambulance needs to get through, everybody always pulls off and gets out of the way.
Right.
But, still, that's pretty cool. Okay. Good job, Justin.
Yes, that is awesome.
Pulling your weight today. All right, so Joe, you got tip of the week.
Yes.
I like tips of the
They're
week.
taking our jobs, but they're also saving our lives. So technology and
Well, see, that one's a little different though, because there's
Yeah.
somebody on the other end. You know,
the doctor on the other.
well, somebody's got to load the drone up. Somebody's got to fly it and do the work on it.
True.
Somebody's got to maintain it.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to house it. So yeah, there's a little bit there. All right, anyway, go ahead, Joe.
All
Tip
right.
of the week.
So the tip of the week is kind of a little bit of a reminder, refresher for, because we talked about this a few episodes ago, a reminder that the 3G networks are shutting down this year. So here's what you need to know.
3G.
Yeah. So within the next year, all major cell phone carriers, AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile, are planning to shut down their older 3G networks later this year. Like millions of people in the U.S. who use 3G and other 3G phones, a lot of people buy these have these phones just laying around for in case of emergency use for 911. But when they shut down the 3G towers, these phones are going to be same as useless.
I never even thought about that.
Yeah, a lot of people take their old phones because by law, by federal law, even if your phone's not activated,
Yeah.
it has to be able to make a call to 911. So a lot of people take their old phones, throw them in their glove box of their vehicle, and use them as emergency backup if needed.
Wow. That's kind of like Justin using his power bank as the emergency backup.
Yeah.
Take 3 weeks to charge it ahead of time, but it's there in case of emergency.
Right.
It'll be the best 2 minutes of a charge you get.
Right. So
How's that new power bank treating you, Justin?
Well, it's down to 1 bar,
How much did it charge your phone?
50%.
All right. There we
Nice.
go.
So it's like kind of a quick charge kind of thing.
Yeah.
Nice.
And you get at least half.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay.
So Sprint has already shut down their 3G towers. They're supposed to have shut them down January 1. AT&T is going to shut down their 3G on February 22nd. Sprint,
Why
Or-
would they turn them off? Is it cost them money to have it?
it's just
or
old technology that's not making any money anymore. The 3G,
It's not relevant. They're just
well, we have 5G now, so everybody's on 4G LTE or
Did we
5G.
have 5G?
Oh yeah,
Do we have 5G here?
yeah, oh yeah.
Mine says 4G. 4G LTD.
Who you on?
AT&T.
Okay, they may not
Do
have
you
theirs,
have?
but
Does yours read 5G now?
I don't have 5G on my phone.
Oh.
But T-Mobile has 5G in Spencer because I've seen the maps.
I see.
And Sprint is shutting theirs off on June 30th. Verizon is waiting till the end of the year to shut theirs off. So this technology was actually released in 2002,
Yeah.
and since almost everybody's already on 4G LTE or even now the new 5G, the carriers are saying, look,
Yeah.
there's no money being made. That's just more upkeep on stuff that doesn't need to be needed. So they're just going to start shutting the antennas off. So
That's interesting.
if you're in this boat of either one, you have an older 3G phone, or you're not sure what type of phone you have, here's some tips to help.
How old would you have to? How old a phone would that be?
Well, it's not even so much age. It's just if you have the same phone you bought in 2002, absolutely you're going to need an upgrade. First, how is that thing still running? And two, but even if you have some of these cheaper, what they call burner phones,
Yeah.
like the cheap flip phones, stuff like that you can get at your big box stores, places like that. A lot of those are 3G phones, or used to be 3G phones, so you may be due for an upgrade. Because I know a lot of older people, before smartphones really started taking off, a lot of them had the flip phones, and they would turn them on, make a phone call, and then turn them back off. They wouldn't really use them like we do now, that the phone never stays off. It's on all the time. So a lot of these people don't realize what they have. So here's a couple tips to see where to go from here. So if you have a 3G phone, or you're not sure you have a 3G phone, first thing you should do is contact your carrier. Your carrier will have, or should have, the information on your phone, and they can tell you what type of phone you have and if it's falls under this older 3G realm or not.
Right.
The second thing is, if they come back and say yes, you have a 3G phone, you're going to need an upgrade. Now, more than likely, they're going to try to push you towards a smartphone. If you don't have a smartphone and don't want a smartphone, stick to your guns. Hold your ground. Say, I don't need it. I don't want it, because they're going to try to upsell you on it.
Joe, that's just craziness. Who doesn't want a smartphone?
You'd be
There's TikToks to watch. There's Twitter.
I know.
What do they call the Twitter thing?
Yeah.
We already forgot.
Tweet takes.
Tweet takes. There you go. You got tweet takes you got to watch.
Yeah.
Come on now.
So.
This is crazy talk.
Oh, I know.
Tumblrs too. You gotta watch.
You gotta watch the Tumblrs. That's right. Jeez. So, let me ask you this: does anybody under the age of 40 not want a smartphone?
The Amish.
That's interesting. So you're just talking about the older generation, like 50 and up.
More than likely.
Yeah.
I don't have any particular stats on that, but probably more than likely.
Well, I mean, you're in the tech business. I just assumed you could kind of get a feel for.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that statement. Probably anybody over the age of 40.
Yeah, because otherwise everybody else wants a smartphone. They got
Right.
TikTok it up and Tumblr. What is it?
Tweet takes and Tumblr.
Yeah.
Tweet takes and Tumblr and Reels. Man, we've covered a lot of stuff today.
But this is actually, it's kind of a good thing because, as far as the customer side, because if the carriers are shutting off the antennas or the towers, they're going to want to keep you as a customer. So use this to your full advantage. So go to your carrier and say, look, you all are shutting the towers off, which is causing me to lose my service. So either make me a good deal or I will go to your competitor.
Yeah.
And see what they can do for you.
Yeah.
You take full advantage of this because you're not causing this mess. They are.
Right.
So take full advantage of it and say, hey, what can you do for me? If not, I'm going to your competitor.
Yep.
So take full advantage of it. So if you find yourself in this situation, you will have to upgrade the phone. And if you don't want a smartphone, that's fine. If you do, that's fine too. Stick to your guns on what you want, because at the end of the day, you're paying the bill. They're not.
Yeah.
So
Could they even provide you with a non-smartphone though?
Oh, yeah.
This day and age.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
They
They
have
brought
them.
the flip phone back, right?
Yeah, they have them. They usually don't put them out on display,
Mm-hmm.
or if they do, they're all the way back in the corner, about 2 inches of dust on them. But they're there.
And would those be 5G or 4G phones?
They'd be at least 4G.
Yeah.
They're probably if they're getting a flip phone, it's probably not a 5G phone, but it'll be at least 4G.
Yeah. Okay.
And that'll last you for years.
Oh yeah, considering
They're not gonna pull the same thing with 4G here.
well, eventually, but since 3G was released in 2002, and here we are 20 years later, just now pulling the plug on it.
Have they said anything about 6G?
No, they don't even have 5G completely implemented yet.
Yeah, but still.
Oh, I know. Yeah, give it a few
Somebody's
years.
got to be working on it.
I guarantee they're working on it. But-
Well, let me ask you though.
Okay.
That's kind of a trick question on my part, I guess.
Okay.
Is 5G the ceiling?
No.
You don't
For
think-
now it is, but
Right. Okay. So you think there's more to come? Okay.
oh yeah, they're always working.
Well, you heard it first here, folks. This is the same guy that called COVID out and said, "Take care of your tech stuff because it's not going to be coming after this."
Yeah.
Back in the day, I remember we had this whole conversation, and you're like, "Yep, you're not going to get your iPhone in the next couple weeks because of this hold up. There's a flu type deal coming, and it hit China first. Now it's coming our way, and technology's going to be slowed way down." And boy, oh boy, did you ever imagine, Joe, that there'd be cars parked in stadium parking lots just waiting on a chip?
Yeah. And what's crazy is I go back and listen to it, and I laugh at myself going, "You ignorant fool, you have no idea what you're talking about." And then I'm laughing at you because you're going, "Oh, I don't care if I have to wait a week on my phone. What's the worst that can happen?"
Yeah. I mean, that's what our conversation stemmed around, was just, inconvenience. We're like, it was a little inconvenience. Boy, did we not have an idea.
Yeah.
But you called it, Joe. Your Magic 8 Ball was working overtime that day.
Yeah.
Well, if anybody has any questions about Tumblr, Twitter, Spotify. or
Or if they have an older phone,
and the 3G issue, how do they get a hold of you?
you give us a call at our office at 304-927-3588. Check out our website at amdigitaltechnologies.com, or be sure to follow us on social media. We're on all the major platforms. Sorry, I ran those two together. Be sure to follow us on social media at AM Digital Tech. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And be sure to subscribe to the podcast Help Desk with Joe and Dave. We're on all the major platforms. And all of our episodes are hosted by Anchor.fm.
Yeah. And so are we going to have any, what do you call them again on Twitter?
I got to look it up again. Tweet takes.
So are we going to have any tweet takes to throw out?
So considering we have to keep looking back at the name of the thing, I'm going to step back on my 6-month guess and go maybe 3 months, and that's being overly generous.
We will not have any tweet takes for you.
Yeah.
So, generic or authentic.
Yeah.
Neither one's coming down that road. All right, well, here at the Patch Turned Up Studio in Spencer, West Virginia, on show 89. Boy, we're climbing right up there. I'm so excited to get to 100. But show 89 in the books here for Help Desk with Joe, and with us as always, Joe and Justin. So for myself, Joe, Justin, we're out of here for another week. Make sure you turn back in for all your tech news. Make sure you support A&M Digital Technology. Powers all our patch stuff. You guys power a lot of stuff around Roane County and the surrounding areas, but you know, A&M Digital Technology, support those local businesses. They're super important for our community. So get out there and do your duty. Support our communities. All right. We'll be back next week with more. So Help Desk with Joe, show 89 in the books.